Welcome to Technology FAQ. I'm Hirok and today we are going to make this beautiful and simple JavaScript application to find GST. So let's begin. First of all, we are going to need three files: index.html, style.css and script.js. So let's start with the boilerplate. In the title, let's give it GST Calculator. Then in the body we'll create a wrapper class, then inside that we'll create a card, then inside the card we'll give a title element. Inside that we'll write actual price, then below that one input with a type of number and give it an ID of final price. Not final, it should be actual price. Then let's copy the card. So in this one we'll put here final price, ID will be final price, then in the next one, this one will be GST, and ID will be GST value. Below that this will be CGST, and below that SGST. Then after that we'll create a GST class. Then let's create a button and a less than sign, or you can use the entity %LT semicolon. Then a group class, and inside that two span elements. In the first one we'll put a placeholder of 3, and the span will give an ID of GST %. Then below that under span and put % here. Then out of the group element we copy the button, paste it, then this one will be GT greater than sign. Let's preview it. Control Shift P, then live server, open with live server. Okay, so this is the final one, and this is our present HTML. Now let's start the styling. So before that we'll go below the title and link our CSS file, style.css, and below that we'll link our script file. And put a defer attribute. Okay, now let's go to our style.css. Now first of all let's import a Google font. So font insert, then we will choose Lexent Deca, this font. Then let's declare some CSS variables. The first one will be text color, and it will be hash. I'll just copy the number. then title color, then background will be linear gradient to top, then two colors, then card background, then card shadow, will be 0.5 RAM, 0.5 RAM, hash 0000040. Now some basic CSS reset: margin 0, padding 0, boxing size, border box, HTML body, height 100%, width 100%, and then body, display grid, justify content, center, align item, center. Then after the border sizing, we'll put font family. Font family will be Lexant, Deca, and Roboto, then sans serif. Then the font color will be CSS variable text color. Then outline none, and in the body we'll put a grid template columns. It will be one fractional unit. Then background will be the CSS variable background. Now let's preview it. Okay, now let's style our wrapper class. Display will be grid template, columns will be one fractional unit, then grid template rows, repeat 6 times and one fractional unit. Then height will be 100%. Justify content, center, padding 1 rem, and grid row gap will be 1 rem. Let's preview it. Okay, now let's put it this way, it will be better. Then let's style the card element. Min height 88 pixels. Then border border radius 0.5 rem, then position relative, then box background will be var the CSS variable card background. Okay, now we'll put a box shadow, dash card shadow. Card shadow. Then let's design the title, this one, inside the card. So we'll say card and inside that dot title, position will be absolute, top 0.25 rem, then left 0.5 rem, then font weight will be 900, then font size 1.75. Now let's design the input box. Card input, position will be absolute, then bottom 0.5 rem, right 0.5 rem, then background color will be transparent, then text shadow not needed, border none, then font size 2.75 rem, font weight 100, text align will be right, and width we'll use calc function here. It will be 100% minus the padding on both sides. Okay, now let's remove this arrows. So we'll do input type equal to number, web kit inner spin button, comma type number WebKit outer spin button, and then say WebKit appearance none, then margin 0. Okay, now it's gone. Next, let's style this GST button here, GST card. So we'll say GST first. Let's go to index.html and put besides GST, let's put a cart class also. Okay, now you go to style and GST min height will be 88 pixels, then display will be grid, then grid template columns, 1 FR, 2 FR and 1 FR. Okay, so 1 FR for the left button, 1 FR for the right button, and 2 FR for the percentage value. Then we'll say overflow hidden for the rounded corners. Okay, now let's design the left button and the right button. So first of all, we have to go to index and we have to put some IDs. This one will be left and this button will be right. Go to style.css and say .gst. The left ID will be it is actually not necessary. Now let's design the buttons. .gst button element, it will be border will be none, then font size 3 rem, then padding bottom will be 0.5 rem, then background transparent. Okay, now we'll style this group element here. So we'll say .gst group display grid, then grid template columns auto, then justify content center, then align content center, then font weight bold, then now let's style the GST. There are two spans, this one is the first span and this one is the second span. So let's style the first span. The GST span first child align self center, then font font size 3.5 rem. Okay, now let's style the next span. .gst as span last child. This one will be align self center. Okay, now let's style. Now let's put this GST here. I haven't used any extra element to write this GST. We'll be using the after pseudo element, so we'll say .gst after content equal to GST, then position will be absolute, then left will be 50%, transform translate x minus 50%, color will be title color, font weight will be bold, I have done a mistake here, the color of the title element, title font, I haven't used the color here, color will be var title color. Okay, now let's use the media query to make it responsive. We'll say at media screen and min width 426 pixels, when minimum width will be 426 pixels. The wrapper class, just define self center and width will be 425 pixels. Okay, so the styling part is done. Now let's do the scripting part. So we'll go to script.js. Script.js, we have 4 parts. First we have to declare 2 variables. One will be the mode, the actual, to find the actual price, and one to find the final price. And the second variable will be an array of all the GST percentages. We have 5 GST percentage as of now: 3%, 5%, 12%, and 18%, 18% and 28%. Then we'll create 2 custom functions to select elements and to fix decimal digits to 2 places. Then we'll define the main GST function, and then we'll add some event listeners. Okay, so let's begin. So first of all, we'll declare a mode variable, then another constant of GST array equal to 3, 5, 12, 18, 28. Then for the functions, first will be we'll find $, the selector function, el as an parameter, then it will return document dot query selector the element, it will return the element. Then we'll define another function, const underscore equal to and a number as a parameter, and it will return if n modulus 1 equals 0, that means it is a non-decimal number, then it will return n, and or it's a decimal number, then n will say n dot to fixed two digits, 2 decimal places. Then the next one will be, we'll now define the GST function. Const find GST equal to function. I'm using arrow function here. So const actual value equal to parse float dollar, means we'll select the element actual price dot, and we'll extract the value, and parse float will convert the value into a decimal number. Then const final value is equal to, it will be same, let's copy it, and here instead of actual it will be final price dot value. Then we'll define another const GST is equal to parse float v, instead of final price it will be GST%, and instead of value it will be inner text, because it is not an input field, it is a span element. Then say there will be two modes. Mode 1 will be to find the final value, and mode 2 will be to find the actual value, means actual price. So we'll say if mode is equal to 1, we'll set the mode later, then we'll say let GST value is equal to actual value into GST divided by 100. Then we'll select the GST value element, so GST value element, and we'll assign its value to GST value. Then let's wrap it up with the underscore function to fix the decimal place to two values, this function. Then next one, C GST value will be GST value by 2, next one will be S GST, this one will be same. Then say final price will be equal to actual value plus GST value. Okay, so this is for mode 1, that is to find the final value. Now else if mode is equal to 2, then what? Then we will find then let's select actual price is equal to, this is the formula, final value into 100 divided by 100 plus GST. Then let GST value is equal to actual value, actual price, actual price into GST divided by 100. Then say this one will be actual price dot value is equal to actual price underscore actual price, then GST value dot value is equal to GST value. C GST value will be equal to GST value by 2. Then the SGST will be 2. So that's it for the GST function. Now let's add the event listeners. Now we'll say when the actual price will be at the actual price at event listener, we'll add an event listener to the actual price element, and when we'll listen for a key of event, and then we'll define a callback function. So it will assign the mode variable as 1 and will run the find GST function. The same will be for when the final price element, so the value will be mode will be 2 and we'll find the GST. Okay, then so let's check it. Actual price 1 2 3, started to $32 actual price. Oh, I have to add the hash symbol here because it's the ID. Actual price is the ID and final price is the ID. Okay, so let's try it. SGST. Oh, the ID will be as GST, and this one will be final price. Final ID equal to final underscore price. Okay. Yes, it's working. It's working. But here we have to change the GST percentage. So let's add an event for that one too. So this one is the left button and this one is the right button. So when we'll add an event listener to the right listener, and we'll listen for an event, click event, then we'll callback function. So we'll say let GST percent equal to percent GST percent dot inner text. Then let index equal to GST array dot index of GST percent. Then we'll say if index is equal to GST array dot length -1, then index will be set to 0, else index will be incremented by 1. And then say hash we'll select the GST percent element and dot inner text will assign the GST array and the index value. Then we'll copy the same function and we'll say for the left everything will be same, only when index will be equal to 0, so will be 0, then index will be equal to GST array dot length -1, else index will be decremented by 1. Okay, now let's try it. 1000, and if I click button, the GST will be updated automatically. And if I enter the final price, let's say 1000, then same thing will happen. So that's it guys, I hope you liked the video, and if you think that it was helpful, then don't forget to like, share and subscribe. See you in the next video.